content over everything.
Say you're rolling content when you're rolling.
I was recording, I just pressed record.
Just now, yeah? You recording?
I'm recording now.
All right, cool.
Focus though.
All right, so we're here, yeah, because my good brother, Eesa, yeah, wants to address an issue with me. Apparently, I lied last week. Yeah? So, oh wait, so I'll start again. Right, so apparently, the topic he wants to address, yeah, is why did Shaka lie? Yeah? Why did Shaka lie? So first of all, I'm going to learn exactly what it is I lied about. And then I'm going to get into it.
You're going to dispute whether or not you lied. This is the same thing.
Well, I need to know first, innit?
Bare loaded.
I know, fam, I know. But you have to expect this from our good brother Eesa.
Brother. Because what it is, you have to remember, when you give a subject matter,
yeah,
that when you continue to talk after that subject, the people will always understand where you're going and what you're getting at.
Yeah.
If you've got some vague title, you'll be talking for ages and you still don't know what your point is.
It's cool, you know what I'm saying? Man wants to substantiate this lighting. So, first of all, what did I lie about?
Of course, the black Tellect
yes, sir,
is going to make sure you're fully aware.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you, our brother?
Yes, sir.
Or did you not?
Yes, sir.
Claim
yes,
that
sir.
Brother Malcolm X,
yes, sir,
when he had his experience in Mecca,
yes, sir,
and spoke about Islam being the solution,
yes, sir,
for the white people,
yes, sir,
in the Muslim world, and it made them not have this concept of whiteness like the Europeans have.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
And then you said
Yes, sir.
that when he got back,
yes, sir,
that was not his stance.
No, I said that was not his agenda.
No, stance is what we're talking
yeah, but I never used the word stance. I said that was not his agenda.
No. You did say that.
Yeah.
When I persisted.
Yes.
Hold on. When I persisted.
Yes.
Did you also
yes.
say that was not his stance?
No, I said that was not his agenda.
So, hold on. So are you saying now for the camera
yes,
that the opinion and perspective of Malcolm X,
yes,
when he got back from Mecca,
yes,
left Mecca, went around Africa,
yes,
he still believed that the Muslim world
yes,
and those who call themselves white did not have the concept of the racist white people superior to black due to Islam?
No, I think you're overstating the point.
I'm quoting what he said.
Hold on. Malcolm X said, what Malcolm X said was, perhaps if the white man in America could study Islam, perhaps it might remove the racism from his mind. He observed a situation in Mecca where he said the white man in Mecca identified himself as white, but when he said white, it was purely for the purpose of identification. You know what I'm saying? When the white man in America says he's white, he means he's boss. That's one of the things that Malcolm X said. Yeah? What I am saying is that wherever he believed the capacity of Islam to be in terms of shedding racism from white people, his agenda was not spreading Islam among white people or even African people in America. That was not his agenda. So he may have had an idea or a position on certain things. He may have developed the idea about the potential for this thing, but what he was actively working on was not curing Europeans of their racism.
I didn't say that.
Islam. No, hang on. But the point is that was my position. So the idea of that was not his stance. You know what I'm saying? My point was that his agenda, wherever he thought, his agenda was not about spreading Islam.
Brother, so if I put his position on the table,
yes,
are you going to circumvent what I say and then answer something else?
No.
Or are you going to do with what I said?
It's not circumventing, bro. You asked me a question. Did I say that this was not his stance? I'm saying, no, I never said that. I said his agenda was not that.
I know, and I persisted, as I am now, to bring you to the specific point that when he came back.
Yes.
Okay.
He made a statement.
What
bro.
are you saying is his agenda? Repeat that.
He made a statement, bro. I'm saying, first of all, his agenda can be, you can see it exemplified in the work that he was doing with the OAAU. Yeah, as far as the black masses are concerned. Yeah, the Organization of Afro-American Unity. So his agenda was black nationalism and Pan-Africanism.
Okay. That's his agenda.
Yes.
Is that his only agenda?
What do you mean that is only agenda?
Well, he set up two things, correct?
As far as black people are concerned, hold on.
Malcolm X
Yes.
is one individual.
Yes.
Did he have two agendas that were separate or two agendas that were interconnected? but he definitely had two agendas, correct? Or not?
We're talking about, put it this way.
See? This is where it goes waffle.
It doesn't go waffling, no.
Well, go on. Go on.
In terms of the liberation of African people, yeah, it's a battle that takes place on many different fronts.
Do you see? You keep saying liberation. That's not the conversation.
But it is a conversation.
No, it's not.
Because that's what his work was about.
Right,
Malcolm X was a freedom fighter for African people.
I want you to listen, right? This is where you keep answering questions on
Make your point and then easier.
Brother, I have done. And my question was very simple. Was it that Malcolm X, when he set up two places, the Muslim mosque inclusive and the other one was?
The Organization of Afro-American.
Right, two places. All he ever refers to is the other one.
No, I don't. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's the point I'm
Brother,
trying to make.
I just asked you, when he set up the Muslim mosque inclusive,
Yes.
was that part of his
Incorporated.
agenda?
Incorporated.
Was
Yes,
that?
he wanted.
Oh, all of a sudden.
But bro, I read to you his own words last week.
We're here now.
Oh, no, we're here now. Yeah. But I'm saying to you, I read to you his own words last week as to exactly why he set up the Muslim Mosque Incorporated. I didn't leave it out. You're spreading a fantasy at the moment. To say that I did not mention it, I was the one.
I'm not saying you did mention it. I'm
you just said
asking
it.
you now.
You just said I don't mention
No,
it.
no.
No.
You just
Brother,
said.
I want you to listen. The conversation now relates to what I'm asking him now. So therefore I'm saying what I just asked him about his agenda. He only mentioned one. Do you understand now? I asked him now, not last week, about his agenda, and he only mentioned one thing. So now I'll ask it very simply again.
Brother,
Were there
Eesa.
two agendas that were separate? One, the Muslim mosque. Number two, the black nationalist movement.
The question.
Are they two separate ones or
The
interconnected?
premise of your question is faulty. Yeah. The problem is that if a man is a Muslim,
Yes.
a man will practice his faith. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he will find ways of practicing his faith. Yeah. But his life work, yeah, even so it's like asking me, was his agenda the Nation of Islam or was it the liberation of black people? The Nation of Islam, listen, the Nation of Islam was an organization of which he was a member, and within that they have certain religious rights that they follow as a part of being a member of the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? Right? And then their overall agenda as a group of people is about liberating black people. So as a Muslim, Malcolm X wants to be able to practice his faith, and there are brothers and sisters around him who want to be able to practice their faith. So they set up an institution for them to practice their faith. Yeah, this is not in contradiction or in diversion from them setting up the Organization of Afro-American Unity. Now, what I am saying is how he defines it himself. How he describes it himself is when we left the Black Muslim movement, so-called, yeah. Those of us who were appreciating and coming into a new concept, yeah, of what Islam is, we set up an institution in order to learn and practice that concept. But knowing that we are Muslims and wanted to do that, we also had to respect the fact that and understand the fact that we are black people in America in a racist society. And even though our religion taught us brotherhood and these kinds of things, our primary challenge was defeating and throwing off the shackles of white oppression. And so because of that, we set up an organization called the Organization of Afro-American Unity, which was designed, to engage with the broader black community, not just in America, but across the Americas, and connect them with our brothers and sisters on the African continent.
Okay. So I'm trying to make this really simple. Every time you mention agenda, you only mention the black nationalist movement, correct?
No,
yes or no? Every time you say his agenda, you mention the black nationalist movement and not him being a Muslim, correct?
You're talking about his faith.
Yes.
You're talking about his faith.
He just said yes.
Yes,
Right.
but I'm making the argument by his own words that his faith,
it's personal, private.
No, not just personal. It's communal among those who share his faith. But what he was saying to us, so what he was saying to us, when we come out to organize and work on behalf of our community, let's put our religion in the closet and keep it between ourselves and the God in whom we believe. Yeah, but
One quick question. So, what he's saying, where is he wrong in what he's saying?
I was going to get there. Go on.
Yeah, go on.
right, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said. said. So to say that, so being a Muslim, for himself, being a Muslim is obviously part of his life. So you could call it a part of his agenda to be a Muslim and to practice Islam.
Where's life, innit?
Right? As a man, as a Muslim, it's like me as an African spiritualist. Yeah, I pour libation. Libation is not my agenda. You know what I'm saying? Right? My agenda is nourishing black people. Yeah? So if a man wants to pray 5 times a day,
No. Have you not expressed that you would be happy for certain Sunnis, black Sunnis, to leave that and come to your thing?
I would be happy.
Have you expressed
I
that?
would be happy for Africans
To
in
leave.
any religion to be African spiritualists. Yeah.
To leave their thing?
Yeah.
Is that not part of agenda? What the hell is this?
It's not agenda. He said he's happy, but it's not his agenda.
Listen to what I'm saying. If I'm talking to somebody and I'm saying this is Abrahamic invasion faith,
It's a good point.
I would like that to happen.
It's a good point.
But to come to them, it might be too much work.
Eesa, it's a good point. For me personally,
Right.
I relate the affirmation of African spirituality and culture as an essential component of black liberation. Yeah, I affirm that.
So
Yeah?
now my point
I
is,
affirm
did
that.
Malcolm X
I
see?
affirm that.
Hold on. Did Malcolm X the same way how you see that?
Yes.
And I'm saying
Yes.
Malcolm X as a whole being
Yes.
saw the same.
Right. Now,
However, he saw that it's not so easy
I'm
for
still
people
trying
to see.
where I lied, first of all.
Huh?
I'm still trying to figure out where I lied, yeah?
Well, there's several.
However, yeah. You said, I said to you on the live, you know,
Yeah.
I am not saying that Islam was not important to Malcolm X. I am not even saying that he never felt that Islam or religion had a role to play. Yeah,
No, Islam,
right? What's it called?
religion.
No, because
We have to do with Islam. And
fine.
Because
if you
all
want-
last week you were talking about, is it his nephew or someone else that said that when he got back,
Bro,
his
listen to the
agenda was in
live,
something.
listen to the live that we did on COE, and I said to you, I'm not even saying that he didn't believe that Islam would be a positive influence on the lives of black people in America. We're not saying any of
That's
those
watered
things.
down positive influence.
We're not saying any of those
Listen,
things.
brother, stop.
No, the
These
question
little
is-
watered down words, positive influence.
Shaka, let's see your arguments.
We're talking about somebody who not is giving you something and not taking it themselves. For instance, there's many doctors that give out medication that they've never taken themselves. But we're saying if the doctor takes it himself, then they say, okay, if you're taking that for that and you're giving it to your kids and your wife, I can say you, even if you're wrong, you vouch for that medication. So if Malcolm X,
He vouches for Islam, yeah, and the
what were you saying
and
about
the
his
positive-
thing?
And the, no, but he, but
No,
the
you
point-
you said
I've never
he
denied-
left Mecca, he went around Africa, and he learnt this and that, and then he come back.
First of all, brother Eesa,
What's the name you call it? What's the name you call it?
Say again?
The name, it's the other name.
Amawali, yes.
Omar Wali.
Yes.
Did he ever mention that to the media?
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
So he called himself.
Except for the fact that it was written in his book. So his book is a form of
I'm
media,
saying
then yes. But he never spoke about it on the camera.
Okay.
So
So this,
Said it was the greatest honor of a baby.
Yeah, greatest honor he's ever received in his life. Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
and it sounds like
Tendai
another.
worry.
This is another
Tendai
emotional. One sec, it seems like another emotional situation.
But Eesa, first of all, though, because we're forgetting, right, what the premise, what your initial premise was.
Exactly.
Right?
Shaka
And
lied.
your premise was,
Yeah, why did
is
Shaka-
Malcolm X, no,
Oh,
before
the
that,
original, yeah.
Because we were coming from the premise
leader.
of, yes, the leader.
You know what it
of
is? It
modern
was supposed to
day-
be founder, wasn't it?
Hold on.
No, I'm saying-
Whatever the case,
Okay.
leader or founder of modern day black Sunni croonism.
No, syndrome. That's again we both forgot the title, so that's fair enough because he came late. But anyway,
Syndrome was not in the original title.
Huh?
Syndrome.
Well, look it up.
No,
I guarantee
in
you.
what you said to me just yesterday, yes
No,
it
no,
was.
no.
But syndrome
No,
was not in it.
the first one. You want me to get it for you now? I'll show you right now. Right.
In fact, you know what I'm gonna say?
No, I'm gonna
Even if
show
you're
you
gonna
right
say
now.
syndrome,
No,
I'm
no,
still
no,
gonna refute the thing. But the point is,
Oh,
that
bro.
was the premise.
Don't use them words.
No,
Come
but
on now, bro.
Eesa, that was the premise.
My gears, you're
Eesa,
starting the engine now.
that
come on.
was the
That's
premise.
That's the only.
That was the premise.
That word refutation is only reserved for
All right,
Eesa the Black
I'll tell
Tellect.
you what we have to do. I'll tell you
can't use that word.
what we have to do. We have to define some terms.
Okay.
Yeah? So what we have to do is define leader.
Right.
We also have to define founder. Yeah? So let's do that then.
Okay. We have to make sure and confirm that the title that the Black Tellect sent was as is said. Yes. Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Where is this? All right. Pan-African syndrome. Blah, blah. Anyone know the date? What's the date? What's the date today?
Let me find it.
Well, this is ages ago, man. October.
Eesa, just ask a quick question. Are you saying Maku
All right,
is
no,
wrong
all right.
about
I found it.
Islam?
I found it.
You found it already?
I found it. Yeah, and you are correct.
Okay.
Yeah? And you are correct. Yeah. Hold
As
on a
usual.
second.
As usual.
No. Sorry.
Just
No.
Shut this
Hold on.
Says founder.
No. You're not correct. Sorry. This is what you
Founder.
said. No. This is what you said to me yesterday. One
No,
second.
we're talking about the original.
No,
You
I
just said
know.
original.
I found the wrong thing. One second.
Oh, yeah. One sec. I was going to call you Blackie. Sorry. Beefy. Sorry, it's Beefy.
You see?
No, because I'm my man black. No, I don't. I'm black. I'm the original. I'm the original blackface.
But
No,
that's anti-blackness.
I'm the
All
original
right, no, I found
blackface.
it now. I found it now. Yep, you're right again.
See?
Is Malcolm
Told
X
you.
the main founder of the modern day Sunni Kun syndrome?
Syndrome.
Kun
Yes.
syndrome, bro.
Yes.
Sunni Coon
Right,
syndrome.
so I start correcting.
Of course.
I start correcting.
All the time. Last week. Huh?
Sunni cool?
Coon. Like, it's basically saying
Right.
sellout. So we're basically saying, or Eesa the Black Tellect is basically saying,
Yeah, because it's not we. We ain't
Yeah,
saying that right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
How I know that?
well, let's. In fact, he is saying that, but
I
he's
ain't.
not saying it. Really?
No, I'm not at all.
Can you please tell me where the term wild barbarians come from?
Wild barbarians. Well, wild is a term in the English language.
No. That
And
term.
so is barbarian.
No, where does that term
And
come
when you put them
from?
together,
Yeah, no. Who says that?
yeah, he said that. So what he's referring to,
All right, no.
what he's referring
Maybe I
to
should-
is the fact that my father,
Boy.
in delivering a message called
Boy.
the power of African spirituality, referred to the Arabs who invaded Africa as wild barbarians.
Not just them. There's a whole
No,
Abraham.
he said
No, but he's debating. He's debating them too.
In the context.
Is that correct?
No. In the debate, when he's debating the Christian.
That's no. He never used to say wild barbarians.
Yeah,
in the
no,
debate.
bro, that's the only thing I listen to. I
wanna
guarantee
ask
you.
You did it, bro. You listen to the message.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Listen to the speech.
After your thing,
Can I just
brother,
ask a
listen to.
question?
You want me to
But it's
play?
not impossible. The Europeans who invaded Africa were also wild barbarians. I'm not gonna like. You know what I'm saying,
Bro, hear what I'm saying.
bro. It doesn't matter,
Because
bro.
I loved
That's
it.
Berber, not
I loved it.
It doesn't matter, bro. It don't matter, bro. Yes, the Europeans were wild barbarians, and so were the Arabs. They were both wild barbarians. I'm not gonna
I agree, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's true.
I can't hear
Oh,
that.
flipping
Let's get the point.
It don't matter, bro.
Anyway,
They were
his
both wild
father.
barbarians. Either way, if he said it, he said it.
Oh, all right.
They were wild barbarians,
Can I
bro.
ask a
Okay.
question, sir?
So
One
his
second. I want to get to this.
perspective.
I want to get to this thing.
Okay, so we got the title right.
Yeah.
You asked about Sunni Coon.
Yes.
So
What is a Sunni
normally, in a debate with Eesa,
Yes.
the Black Tellect,
Yes.
I would define every major term in a sentence.
Let's do it then.
No, brother, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But because it was a new thing, then I was like, let's play it by ear, and there was already debates and discussions going on. So, is Malcolm X? We do a founder or leader? Leader.
Either one, bro.
All right,
Either
so
one. I'm
leader.
passing down every one of them.
Okay. Brother,
Everything
come
get
on
mashed
now.
up.
Look, you
Fire
see-
burn.
You're right. though.
Shit, I'm good.
You're good. All right. So leader is somebody who is appointed to lead people, regardless of if they follow him. That's one type of leader. Another type of leader is somebody who does actions or says things and people follow them regardless of if they want to be a leader. Do you understand? So from the people's perspective, if you're doing something and I'm following you in it, especially if there's quite a lot of people, you are a leader regardless of whether you want to be or not. The other side is whether self-appointed or appointed by others, and you are doing something regardless of whether that's a leader. Yes? You agree with them two definitions?
I'll go with it.
You agree with them two definitions? Brilliant. So, unfortunately, he agreed with that, and therefore the whole thing's finished for him. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll see it.
All right. Modern day, and it says main leader of modern day Sunni Coon syndrome. Sunni Coon, would you agree from your perspective that what I call Sunniism, which you might call Islam, is an anti-black ideology?
I contend that all Abrahamic religions, have had a destructive impact upon African culture. So my point is that I'm not differentiating Sunni from any other form of Islam.
No, we're being specific, brother.
No, you're being specific.
No.
I'm saying.
But when I'm asking you a
No,
specific
I know, but
question,
you're asking. Yeah, but you're
but
asking.
this is what I'm saying. If you keep doing that going
I
forward,
know, but bro, if you're asking me a question,
Yeah.
because the question that you're asking me is my opinion, right? So I'm
Specific,
saying,
your viewpoint.
but I'm saying that as an opinion, then
on
I'm gonna
this.
give you, then I'm going to give you my opinion.
And then Hinduism and then Buddhism. I'm saying
I would-
specifically about this, because this is what my whole point is. Whenever I'm asking something specific, so that we dissect, he broadens it out so that it gives him space to move around.
It's not- no,
Be
it's not
specific.
specific.
If I ask you about
Bro,
Sunni,
bro.
don't tell me about Shia.
It's still
Don't
a
tell me
point.
about-
I'm gonna come back.
I'm going to
It's
tell you
true.
about anything. I'm going to tell you about anything.
Huh?
If,
That's right.
Is Sunniism
You're right.
included? Is Sunniism included in what I just said?
Exactly.
Then you have your answer.
No.
Then you have your answer.
No, because my subsequent questions, yes, and this is what I'm saying to you, the focus, okay? You don't contaminate what you're talking about, you be specific. Otherwise, when you come out the other side, you might have some different results, bro.
I'm not
No,
contaminating.
Speaker's corner, allow me to ask a question.
I want some money first.
I think the
You gotta pay.
conversation has been changed recently. I
What?
would like to ask a question.
Oh,
learning
Lord.
from you.
One sec.
One sec,
I
let's
wanna-
finish, let's finish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
let's
want to get to his.
All right.
What I
All
lied
right.
about. It's what I
Okay,
really want to
okay,
know.
okay.
No, but because the subject changed. Subject
Hold on,
changed.
no. Oh, la, 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 la. Oh, la, 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 la.
Which is extensive, yeah, but also
Oh, la, la, la,
I
la.
agree with you.
Oh, la, 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 la.
I agree.
La, 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 la. Whatever.
Allow me with Eesa, please.
No, wait,
We're
let's
gonna
finish.
seriously, we're
Because
gonna
it always-
get to you. Yeah.
All right.
Go on.
So what you lied about?
Yeah.
What was it you said
Yeah.
regarding the mosque?
Tell me what I said.
Bro,
Tell me what I said. I said many things
Fresh
about the mosque.
regarding the mosque?
I said
But
many
let
things
him
about
fresh
the
his mind.
mosque.
You
I
can't
said-
keep
tell me what
playing
I
games,
said.
man.
I said,
Fresh
tell me
his
what I
mind.
said. Tell me what I said.
It's a joke.
No,
Fresh his mind,
bro,
innit?
I'm saying I said many things about the mosque. Tell me what I said.
You didn't. You didn't say many.
You got it there. Say it.
Easily.
You got it there. Come on, bro. Time.
That's what I'm saying. Just tell me what I said in it, bro. That's a joke. I don't understand.
FTK, baby.
When I asked him about the other thing, he told us.
No, bro.
So I'm asking
I
you.
asked you.
What was it?
You asked me.
Let me
No,
talk, man.
you asked me. Did I say this? And I
boring
said
now.
to you,
Come
no,
on,
I
hurry
didn't
up.
say this. This is what I actually said.
What too much
Exactly.
drama?
Yeah.
So you knew what you said. That's
extended,
fine.
Yeah,
man.
but I'm saying you asked me a question. So I'm saying,
You're trying to help him
you're-
out because he's Pan-African.
No, I'm trying to help you out.
Because you're anti. You can't help me, huh?
I'm a
It
Pan-African,
don't matter
by
what
the way.
Beefie said.
I'm a Pan-African,
What I'm
by
saying
the
to you
Bro,
is,
we're
listen
not
carefully.
singing it.
Telling you, the
When
subject
you,
has been
brother,
changed.
brother.
It probably it has, but I want to see what I lied about.
Hold on,
No,
hold on.
I don't like
So,
Bro,
simple
Eesa,
thing.
just tell me what I said in it. Man, if I said it, I will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you mention regarding this
Yes.
particular thing about Malcolm X and his group that were NOI people?
Yes.
Yes?
I read from Malcolm X's speech. Yeah.
Right? And then what? What was this thing that he had? This temple? What was it? What was it about?
The Muslim Cooperative.
What was it for? What was it about?
As Malcolm X said himself, the people for the people.
And its teachings, because remember it was about,
Yes.
you know, whether it was Sunni, Orthodox Islam, and so on.
For people, the brothers and sisters who left the Nation of Islam
Yeah.
were going in a direction to what they could consider to be more Orthodox Islam. And so they were learning, they were in a community as well, because it wasn't just them, there were our brothers and sisters, I said this, that were already Orthodox prior to them. And so they were learning and teaching about the Orthodox religion of Islam. And they were setting up an institution whereby brothers and sisters who were interested in that would be able to practice it as it is practiced, as Malcolm X said, in places like Mecca and Cairo and
Oh,
Lahore.
he just
No,
read my
nothing to
blood.
do with
He just read my notes.
Great.
You
You asked him what he
Oh,
said.
blood.
No, I
You asked him what he said. Did he
Oh,
ask
No, I
him what-
didn't.
This guy, bro.
Bro.
He didn't say that last week.
Yes, I did. On my days. All right. No, hold on. Eesa said, I did not say that last week.
Yeah.
I
did not
read.
say-
No, listen. I read literally from Malcolm X's speech where he said almost verbatim what I just repeated. So there's no way I didn't say it. But I read Malcolm X's words. So it's not me saying it to you.
Did
it's
you
Malcolm
say?
X saying it.
Did you say? How do I know he wasn't Shia? You remember
No, I
saying?
never asked you how I know. I asked you what was his relationship.
No, you
to
asked me that
Shia
as well.
Islam.
No.
Yes.
You did. So you didn't ask me that.
No, I didn't. What I asked you was if Malcolm X's perception
And that
of
too,
Islam
yeah,
was what you
what I
consider
said.
to be Islam,
Right.
would the statement
Yes,
be true?
you asked that
I
as well.
never
But
asked
you said you never said that.
I never asked you how do you know he wasn't Shia. I believe Orthodox more may have asked you something similar to that, but I don't think he even asked you that. But I never asked you that.
No, he tried to include.
I never
like
said
Orthodox.
Let me make this clear. I have no evidence, of the fact, or any idea that Malcolm X was a Shia Muslim. I have no
That's your premise.
evidence of that.
It's not so formation.
Yeah, I know. I
Do you
made to
remember in the
understand.
do you remember in the comments
Hold
when
on,
somebody
I
said
made to
that?
understand. I made to understand that he had relationships, with Shias, and I made to understand that the story of Imam Hussein, is one that he
mentioned to him,
you know what I'm saying, was mentioned to him, and he had an idea about it that he thought,
He liked the sacrifice.
Yeah,
for
you know what I'm
justice
saying,
and
or
peace,
whatever it is.
Allow
Right?
me to answer. Ask the
1 second, we're coming to you. I want to know what else I lied about.
Right.
We're coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is,
Yes.
you're now denying that you said this. Do you remember in the comments when the premiere was played? Yes. And somebody said.
Yeah, you said, I said that Maku was a
Somebody-
Shia, and I said I never
hold on.
said that.
Someone else said it, and then I responded to that comment. Do you remember?
And the first thing I said was,
Wait.
I never said that.
You just said.
You're on the
do you
panel,
agree
wait,
that someone else said it?
I don't know what you were responding to. No, seriously, I haven't seen what you were responding to. What I know is, I said to you, Eesa, I never said that.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the comments, someone else
Yeah,
said it.
I haven't seen it.
And I was responding to what they said.
I haven't seen it.
And then you wrote about what I said.
Cool. I haven't seen what they said. Yeah. But
Well,
I have
we're not
I
gonna
do
play the
not
whole
assert
video.
the idea that Omawale Malcolm X was a Shia. I don't.
But that's
I have no
no,
evidence of that.
I'm not saying. that
What
you
I did say
affirm-
is that his grandson is a Shia.
No, we
What
know
was
that.
a
But
Shia?
what I'm saying to you is that did you ask me that? And
No.
Did you but that's
I
fine. That's
asked
fine.
it, yeah, I did ask it.
I'm saying the way you asked it in the thing. That's why that brother made that comment.
No,
Yeah? All right.
I
We'll see.
assume how someone responded to something, bro.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, assume how someone
Right, so
responded
what else did I lie about?
talk,
What else did
bro.
I lie about? What else did I lie about?
Wait. What I'm saying to you. Beefie, can we have our conversation? Right.
I'm just.
Why Malcolm X?
Wait, no, I want to get to the
Answer the
main crux.
question.
The main crux of this
Go on.
was his.
Well, he's got a few, so we're gonna go through them.
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying you've denied at least 2 of them, right? Which is fine. Yeah? You've denied at least 2, which is fine. So therefore, because no one else remembers it, we could just go to the video.
Exactly.
If he has a show,
Exactly.
If he has an online show,
Exactly.
we could just
as
pause.
my ancestors are
Yeah?
my witness. We
All
can go
right.
to the video.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Right.
Let's go.
Don't worry.
So listen to this guy. He's joking, bro. He already said already that I didn't say syndrome.
You know-
He already
Okay.
said I didn't say
He said
syndrome.
kudo.
You know,
Then hold
I
on,
was with-
syndrome.
I was
But
with-
then he read it and said I'm right.
I was with
exactly.
Minister,
So we're not
I
going to
was
trust
with-
him.
A couple
are we?
weeks ago, I was with Minister Abdul Hakim Mohammed, of the Nation of Islam, and he said that the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches them when you make a mistake in the public, you should correct it in the public.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
No, I totally agree that that's what you should do. So what I'm saying to you is, the main crux of all of it
Yes, sir.
was your thing, the first discussion we've had right now,
Yes, sir.
relating to the importance you tried to give
Yes, sir.
for his agenda, right?
Yes, sir.
And what his Islamic stance is, and if that relates to it. Now, you before they interrupted, you were kind of saying it could be said so. This is the point. The Islam has something to do with his agenda in the sense of him either propagating it somehow, i.e. through a mild means, in any which way or form.
But
Is that part of his agenda? Is basically what I'm
Eesa,
asking.
when I was
He's a
on
Muslim.
when I was,
This is
exactly,
right.
when
Yeah,
I
you
was
could be a
on the-
Muslim
when
and
I
not
was on the
proselyte.
live- When I was on the live,
You see, this is why Beefie needs to be
all
helped.
right, now, okay,
Because
all right.
no, because Beefy keeps talking. Is it possible to be a Muslim and just not proselytize your religion? Yes or
Like
no?
he said,
I'm asking you now because you're jumping in all the time. Is it possible to be a Muslim and not teach?
my man said.
I'm asking you the question. You talk.
Can I answer them?
It's asked 2 different questions.
Very
Yes.
simple. Put it
Yes.
this. I have had many conversations.
Let him talk,
No,
please.
Yes.
No, come on.
Yes, because like he said, he can practice his faith, but his agenda was the liberation of black people. What's so hard to understand about that?
No.
Say again, brother.
The problem is
Say
though.
again.
He was practicing his faith like a Muslim, but his agenda was the liberation of black
The
people.
problem is though, for
What's so
Eesa,
hard to understand about that?
the problem is though, that for Eesa, Mark, the fact.
So
of-
you're saying he
the
was?
Hold on. The fact of.
Are you
Malcolm
saying he was
saying,
proselytizing or not? Beefy.
Eesa.
Oh, no, because I'm saying you let him come in. So are you
I didn't
saying?
let nobody come in.
No. Are you saying he proselytized or not?
You heard what I said, Eesa. Why I should
No,
repeat it 10
the
times.
first question was the possibility. Are you saying he did or not?
This is what I said. He can practice his faith
He can,
every
but did he?
day,
He can.
and his
But did
agenda
he?
be
And
That's
he
fine.
can.
black
I
people.
agree. Can.
How would you
We're not dealing with
establish
can.
if he did or not?
Did he or not?
How would you
That's the
establish
debate.
if he did
For
or not?
I'm
Eesa,
ready to answer.
for
No, let him
Eesa,
answer.
Malcolm
Oh,
X
for
saying,
fuck's sake.
"I am a Muslim," is proselytization.
No. Let me talk. Please. Beefy. You've just come in, tried to undermine my position, etc.
I'm not undermining.
Fine.
No,
That's
Let
fine.
me talk.
Let me talk. All right, good. What I'm saying to you is, you said yes, can. Now the second question is, did he? In other words, the same way as his agenda was to go out there and make movements in regards to economics and politics for black nationalism. Yes? So he's actually moving on that level. Was he also moving on a level to spread Islam or Sunniism?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I didn't study Malcolm X like that. But
Pardon?
all I know
Sorry,
is
you didn't what?
didn't study Malcolm X like that.
You didn't?
I don't study people in it.
You don't study
People. So I don't know much about Malcolm X. But what I do know about him was for black people. So I know.
That's why I want to ask him a question.
But the
So
fact is,
you're saying it's something, huh?
you know what's funny about this?
Simple.
You know what's funny about this, yeah?
That's all I know.
On the content of Everything Live that we did during the week, yeah, I read from Malcolm X's own nephew talking about Malcolm X teaching Islam, yeah, teaching about Islam. The fact of him teaching about Islam is not in denial. That's not in denial. The question is Malcolm X the leader or founder of the black
main
leader and founder of the black Sunni Kulism syndrome? Right? That's the question. So I'm saying, in order,
Define what the Sunni Kulism
yeah, he said it. He said it. Right. Oh, actually, are you defined it properly? But you define Kunism, but what is it?
I think I asked you a question. I went to your dad.
So define Sunni Kunism.
Right.
He loves his part. He loves his part.
Since he also agrees, I want you to fulfill this thing specifically, yeah?
No.
Define I'm
Sunni
going
Kunism.
to. But I want you to be on this definition too or not, right? Because obviously I have what I'm saying about.
You quite determined.
No, of course.
Force you
Now
to
what?
accept his
No. I don't want you to force nothing.
Go,
Because you already
go.
have a stance on Abrahamic faiths.
Yes.
So it's given the broadened thing.
Yes.
Which includes Sunniism.
Yes.
Now, would you agree that if conscious black people
Yes.
are following and accept
You're
Sunniism?
asking me a question. I
Yeah, I am.
want you to
No,
define
I am.
Sunni Kulism.
But I'm saying, bruv, I don't want to, because this is part and parcel of the agenda of what I'm doing. So if I give you this, then exactly. So it's a what we're trying to do is establish your position in relation to Islam as a whole, right? You see this as an enemy ideology to black Africans, yes or no?
I believe it has made itself an enemy.
Made itself is. Is it right now?
Yes.
And throughout its future, even in its inception, an enemy to black people? Yes or no? What
And
you call
culture,
Islam?
yes. But so I want to make that clear. And culture, yes.
It's an enemy to black people and culture,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay. So would you say?
It's an enemy to black people and culture.
Would you?
Yeah,
would
yeah.
you?
But I'll substantiate that.
Would you say therefore, from your perspective, it's like the religion of the devil in that sense?
Say again?
Would you say, from what you've described,
Yes.
as an enemy, it can be said for you it's the religion of the devil, so to speak?
No.
Although you may not
no.
believe in the devil in that way.
Yeah, not necessarily. No. What my contention is based upon the institutionalization of the religion itself. Yeah. So, for example, you can have religions that I don't agree with,
Yeah.
but they're not necessarily oppressive. Yeah. We don't have a relationship whereby the religion has been oppressive to African people and culture. You know what I'm saying? Or created an environment of competition between itself and traditional African spirituality or culture to its own benefit, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't make Islam inherently evil. You know what I'm saying? All it means is that the people who brought it to us facilitated an oppressive relationship, and therefore, oftentimes we, either by force or other means, have subordinated our own gifts to the world in order to affirm it.
But you said it's an
Yeah.
enemy.
Yes,
So
because
if the
no
ideology is an
religion is simply on paper. Yeah, so I don't deal with any.
So there's an
spirituality.
ideology. There's a teaching.
There's an institutionalization of.
No. I agree. This is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
but bro, you're not defining Sunni Kulism.
No, I am. But I'm
You're
trying to
asking
establish
me about the history of Islam and African people.
No.
And
All right, I'll get to it. I'll just define it.
define it,
I'll define it. I'll define it. and
Define
done.
the thing, man.
No, this is the thing. Where I'm getting at, yeah, and the reason why I asked. If we're saying, which I am saying outright, Sunniism is anti-black. Anyone who claims to be even a 2% black conscious who joins that thing is a damn Sunni coon. Straight forward. Because the ideology is anti-black. Wow. So when I said to him,
That's his point.
no, hold on. Bro, hold on.
Can't go around that one.
No. Let me finish what I'm saying to you. That's what I mean. I'm on the roll now, and people them.
Go
right,
on,
right.
finish.
So as I'm saying, when I asked you a specific question about it being an enemy, and you said yes, I was trying to see if we're on the same page in this regard. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, bro. But we don't have to be on the same page for you to define Sunni
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to happen, and maybe this is not you, but a lot of people, after I define it, they then find some words to try and pretend.
Bro, you coined the term. Nobody can challenge what you say.
No. I'm saying that you, in other words, after I define it,
Yes.
and you then find, boy, you know what, we're in the same boat.
Let me help you.
You then might decide you want to
first. Let
me help you out.
Bloody hell.
Let me help you out. From my understanding, what I got from when I heard the terminology, is the idea that Sunniism, Sunni Kunism can be defined, as the black people, adopting an anti-black ideology,
right,
and therefore acting against the interest of black people, or black people adopting a non-black ideology. Yes? So it doesn't necessarily have to be inherently anti-black, and diverting black people from a black agenda. Okay. Would those two things apply to your definition? Okay. Yeah? See, I'm merciful, I am. I just helped you out with the definition.
You didn't help me because mine was very clear. That's why I said anti-black. Yeah. You didn't need to do that because I was very clear.
Yes.
Anti-black.
Cool. Right, yes.
So I said Sunniism, and I defined it very clear.
No. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
And this is where people said, well, that would include Malcolm.
No, but the point is...
Every single black Sunni?
No. Right, this is the point I'm making. Because the point is this,
I just want to know.
You see when we make statements here, because let's say your contention is correct, right? That Sunniism, as a distinct expression, is inherently anti-black.
Yes.
Let's say that is the case.
Yes.
Then there are many black people
Yes.
who are not privy to the information that you are privy to.
Right.
But they embrace Sunniism.
Right.
Are they coons by virtue of embracing something that is anti-black out of ignorance?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Yeah,
not
out of
feel that
ignorance.
anti-black, innit?
Not with knowledge, you know. See, if one does it with knowledge, you know, and you bring the evidence, say, lay it out, and you say, this is
You were
why,
Sunni first, wasn't
and
you?
this is the reason.
Exactly.
And this is what
So I don't mind saying I was Sunni coon.
Hold on. And you lay it out, and now with knowledge, just like the Muslim says, that you know, if
dawah,
right, if you reject Islam with knowledge, then you're going to hellfire.
then you're
But if you are ignorant, then
you're just a whatever.
You're just whatever, right? Allah will be the judge.
Yeah.
Right. So if now,
the answer's in the title.
say again.
The answer to your point is in the title.
I don't understand.
Okay. The leader of Sunni Kun syndrome.
Right.
Do you understand the point?
Yes.
So I'm saying off of the back of Malcolm.
Right.
Yes. There is a syndrome.
Yes.
That is a Sunni Kun way of behaving.
Right. But I'm saying that that's
Do you
that.
understand?
But I'm saying that is the argument that you can't prove. Right? No, you can't. All you can prove.
That's what we're dealing with.
All you can prove.
That's what we're gonna say.
All you can prove is that Malcolm X said certain things that we would consider today inaccurate as regards to Islam in Mecca and Saudi Arabia. That is a fact. We can't deny that. Yes? What I am saying is to call him the founder or the leader of a syndrome. Yes? Of a syndrome.
The main.
The main
Let's
leader
try
of
and
a
stick to
syndrome.
every word in the
Yeah,
sentence.
cool, that's
Yeah.
fine. The main leader of a syndrome. One has to do more than give me a statement that Omar Malcolm X made. One has to, yes.
All right, let me say it again for
Hold
you.
on, right? So I'm saying, no, because we have to
Because you don't address what I actually say.
I
you
do,
make
bro.
up something
I
else.
do, bro. No, because we're having a debate, right? It's a conversation. So the debate is not confined to what it is that you want to address.
No,
right?
it's not at all.
That is it,
I'm
right.
saying,
it's not confined to that.
brother,
if you make a statement and you're bringing us a particular kind of evidence to support your claim, I am entitled to bring evidence to support my claim.
But then your claim is not even put on the point.
But it is on the point. It just refutes your point, so you don't want it in the debate. That's all it is.
Really?
But yes, it does.
All right. That's my point and then refute it. Let's see.
Your point is that by virtue of the statements that Omar Malcolm X made in his autobiography, yes, the letter that he wrote from Mecca, yes, and the interview that he had when he came back from Mecca.
Now, he's added that now. Go on, that's two.
No, but you said it when he came back.
But I'm saying just now you didn't say that.
When
That's
he
my
came
whole
back from
point.
Mecca, what he said?
No, brother,
Malcolm
stop.
X said-
I'm saying before you started again, you only said one thing, what he said in Mecca. Now you added when he came back.
No, bro, I didn't say when he said in Mecca because
first
you
time
read
just
from
now.
you read from the autobiography.
I did indeed.
So what's in the autobiography?
And now you've mentioned
is not
the video
what he said in
afterwards.
Mecca. No, but we spoke about it last week, bro. We
I know,
spoke about
brother,
it
I'm
last week.
talking about now here.
Yeah, go on.
You're giving your point now.
Yes.
Against what
No,
my...
you're asking me to say what your point is. Yes?
Say-
You're saying to me, what's your point? And what's my refutation of your point?
Yes. And you
so you're
quoted
saying,
first one
based
of them.
upon these statements,
Yes.
Malcolm X is leading people towards an anti-black religion.
No,
Okay, what's your point?
not just that.
Not just that.
I
So is
say-
it that or not?
No, that's part of it.
Right,
You
it's
can't
part
just
of it.
leave it
Okay,
there.
cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Go on.
So, as I said again,
Yes.
number one is them statements.
Yes.
And do you agree you tried to say that he changed when he come back?
No, I'm not saying he changed.
You never said that last week.
I'm not saying. I said that his agenda before he left was not appreciably different from his agenda when he came back. You will see me say that.
So
more,
in regards
more
to
or less
Islam,
verbatim.
so you're saying now that in the debate last week, you were not trying to say that his view of Islam being a solution and so on had
What
changed
I am
when he got back.
saying-
Are you saying that?
I want to know, how does one become
I
leader of
am
a
saying
syndrome?
that.
I want to know.
I am saying that regardless of what
my
he
days.
said in Mecca, what he said in Mecca
Yeah.
was not his agenda when he came back. So, but
Oh,
what
you
I
lead us
mean by
down.
that, what I mean by that, if Malcolm X believes, that Islam can cure white people of their racism, that's what he believes, yes, and when he gets back, we can see him actively trying to call white people to Islam, then I can say, well, that's his agenda. Yeah, he's got an idea, and now that idea is informing an agenda, his actual activity. I am saying that when Malcolm X came back, that was not his agenda. He may have thought that if the white man accepted Islam, perhaps, which is what he said, perhaps it might cure them of their racism. Right?
Okay.
Right. One second. Right. He might think that, but when we look at his activity, and what he was putting his energy towards, was it that? No. Now, on top of that, I said, but you're correct. A lot of people have come to Islam.
Bro, all I know, Liverpool top of the league. Come on,
You
Liverpool.
don't know. Yeah.
Football.
All right. What I said.
3-1, 3-1.
What I said was that there has been a concerted effort. Yeah.
See, you jumped there.
I'm not
We're
jumping,
doing
bro.
Malcolm.
Yeah, we are dealing with Malcolm.
you
Listen to
see?
what I said. No, we're not jumping.
You're talking about concerted effort
Listen.
of other people
No.
using Malcolm's
Yes,
movement to
yes.
spread. But that's what this is what I'm saying.
You cannot-
Let's stay focused
wait. Let's
on
focus,
Malcolm
difficult to
himself.
understand about what it is I'm saying.
Wait, can I
Let me
mediate for a
t-
second?
we
Wait.
agree with you. What I'm saying to you is, and this is the main point again.
Can I mediate?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I think I should.
Very simply, is Malcolm X the main modern day leader and founder of the Sunni Kun syndrome?
that's the question.
Which means
Wait,
Sunni
first,
Kun-
how does one
Not at all.
become a leader of a
Not at all.
syndrome?
Not at all.
Founder, you're the CEO of the corporation.
Wait,
You must be
wait,
a part of it.
define, how does one become a leader of a syndrome?
It's a good question.
No, wait, how?
However,
As long as we're good with that,
Eesa,
let us roll.
Eesa,
No,
it's very
because I'm
simple.
trying
You're not
to.
making sense, my brother.
Sound
That's
like
fine.
a
That's
fairy
fine.
tale
That's
still.
fine.
You're killing in the building today.
It's very simple. It's very simple. I'm not going to keep interrupting you when I'm talking. Just let them freaking talk. Right. As I'm saying to you, do you agree, without all what you're saying of them hijacking these things, that's fine. With these people that you're saying hijacked, so the West and let's say the Saudis, as you're saying, they're hijacking Malcolm X's conversion and spreading it and pushing him like a Sunni Muslim, yes? For their thing.
Not just a Sunni Muslim.
What Muslim, Islam, what? The Meccan type.
I am affirming the fact that Malcolm X was a Muslim.
No. I'm
Yeah,
saying
hold on.
their
Hold
part.
on.
That's all I'm
Hold on.
separating.
Yes, but what I am saying is, what they do is that. So I gave you two examples of this. Yeah. Both of them use the words of Omar Malcolm X. Yeah. The first one was the socialist, Marxist, Trotskyites. Yeah. I gave you an example of Pathfinder Press and George Brightman. Much of what I read to you in the Prospect for Freedom speech, last week, is actually in the Malcolm X speech book that is published by. Sorry, the speech itself is in that Malcolm X book, but the parts that I read are not in the book. You know what I'm saying? So they use Malcolm X's words to allude to the idea and generate the idea that he was now a race-neutral, socialist, right? And they will find things that he said to justify their argument. But is that what Malcolm X was actually dealing with?
We agree.
That's
That's what I'm trying to focus on what he was
the
dealing
Sunnis
with.
that you're talking about, they will use Malcolm X statements, and put them forward to justify a particular argument. And their argument
I'm
is,
trying to make it, but
as I put forward last week, the people, the Salafis in Saudi Arabia were directly trying to influence the movement of black Muslims at the time. They requested space and institutions in America to be able to do so. Yes? And so, that plus the fact that the autobiography was designed by Alex Haley to follow a particular narrative. Does it mean that Malcolm X never said certain things?
Exactly. So let's get to the nitty gritty and stop talking about everyone else. I'm talking about Malcolm X. Yes. Yes. Whatever.
Iran did get to it first. As I said,
Is this some joke? I'm saying to you, yeah. We're talking about Malcolm X himself. Yes.
yes.
So you're preempting and saying, hold on, preempting and saying, well, he's not.
love the conversation, you know.
Like
it. Very edifying.
Wait,
hold
on.
Like the conversation, you know. It is really edifying.
Let him land.
Because I'm hearing the other side. You know what I mean? I'm hearing from the media and I'm hearing from the locals, from the
Big brother, wait, no man.
Let him land.
All right, what I'm saying is, the first point to deal with, before we go to the socialists, before we go to the Salafists in Saudi Arabia, strictly Malcolm X, as a leader already, right? So Malcolm X...
Leader of what?
Okay.
Stop. Malcolm X is a leader for black people,
Yes.
whether
What?
you're Christian, whether you're atheist,
Yes.
whether you're Nation of Islam,
Yes.
whether you're Muslim,
Yes.
whether you're Pan-Africanist.
Yes.
Before he left the Nation of Islam, while in the Nation of Islam, he was already a leader.
Yes.
Right?
Leader.
Huh?
He was a born leader. Leader don't make, you know. Leader are born, you know. Making leader can
That's fine. I said he was a leader. I didn't say when he's born or made. He was a leader. That's a fact. Thank you very much.
Yes.
The world make leader.
Brother, hold on,
Very
man.
simple, you know.
Leader for the come out of that home.
Right. So he's a leader of these people.
Sorry.
People have heard about Nation of Islam. They've heard about Islam. They've heard that there's two different types. At least two.
How do you know that?
Because Ahmadis were doing much dawah work. Noble Drew Ali was doing much dawah work, even as you admitted. But anyway, as I was saying, bruv, let me make this point simple.
Don't let him ask.
So what I'm saying to you is,
Yes, sir.
if you want to say that most never heard of any type of Islam except Nation of Islam, let's go with that. He was still seen as a leader for many people, at least in black empowerment.
That's not in denial.
That's a question.
No, good. So my point is now,
Yeah.
when he went to Mecca,
Yes.
he came back.
Yes.
He went on the media,
Yes.
the global white media,
Yes.
Correct.
and spoke about his conversion.
Experience. Yeah.
Not just experience, his conversion.
Right.
Yes.
Stating he is a Muslim.
Right. Say the truth. Go
And
on.
he has set up a mosque. Muslim mosque, inclusive, is that correct? Incorporated.
Yes.
Okay? If he's your leader already,
You're wrong though, sorry. The
Wait.
Muslim Muslim Corporation.
no. So he said it before, but I'm saying the teachings that he's going with here are from Mecca and Cairo, correct? Yes?
Yeah,
Yes?
he said that they're teaching the religion of Islam as it is practiced in these places.
In Mecca and
Yes.
Cairo, which is
Yes.
definitely Sunni, correct?
Yes. And
Brilliant.
he mentioned a few other places, but yeah, go on.
Well, these are the two. This is the main thing.
True. But the dominant
Even
is the Sunni.
Sufi, even bloody Sufis under Sunni. That's the main
Thank you
thing.
for swearing on
Now,
me.
the only we're clear that the only
Right.
form of Islam that Eesa really deals with is Shia. So we understand that. Yeah. So
Anyway, as I was saying, so are you saying that he stopped being a leader to these people when he got back from Mecca? So he maintained being a leader.
Let's go to Egypt.
Da. For flip's sake, man.
let him finish.
What's going on here? So, becoming a joke. Maybe we should do it another time.
Just
innit?
speak,
No,
bro.
because they don't do that when you're talking.
They do, bro. Bro, I guess it's time. Fam, you know how
You've been
much.
talking just now.
I know, but I'm saying though, you know who this guy is? You know who this guy is? Yeah? He gets at me every time,
No,
bro.
talking about now.
Yeah, I know, bro. It happens, bro. I'm
No.
saying, bro.
No,
It's
but
not
you
doing
see,
it.
You're making false
It's
arguments.
getting ridiculous.
The thing was about Sunni
Imam,
Kunism.
that's
They're
what
still
you tell me.
defining Sunni Kunism.
Is he deaf?
They're still
Let's
not
define it for
No,
somebody.
don't divert,
No.
Eesa.
Sunni
Because you
Kunism.
validate
Go on,
some
go
people.
on.
Sunni Kunism, again, is relating to a syndrome in this title. A Sunni Kun is somebody who is a Sunni and is black and practices anti-blackism. Do you understand? It's very simple.
What?
Yes?
What is Sunni Coonism?
Sunni Coonism is the practice of it.
How do you practice it? Demonstrate someone who practices it. Can you demonstrate one person who practices it?
There you go.
Do you know?
There you go.
Do you know where the argument does?
Excuse me, I want to ask a simple question.
One second. I need to
We
make a
must
point.
not forget the fundamental of nature. But can you define a leader in a column of ant? Or can you define a leader in a column of bee?
Hold on, next part. So when he come back from Mecca, yeah?
What did he say?
Did he stop being a leader to the people?
Keep it moving.
Yes or no?
And then blame other people.
When he got back from Mecca, did he stop being a leader to these people?
No.
So he maintained.
First of all,
I got you.
No, wait, I got you. Because you inspire someone, doesn't make you a leader.
Stop.
Because you inspire someone, doesn't make you a leader.
No. Malcolm X was a leader. He was a leader. Yeah? Let's go.
Right, we've already defined leader already. So I don't know what he's thinking.
What is a
We've
leader?
already dealt with it. We've already defined it.
Let's talk,
Okay.
Eesa. Let's talk.
So he's admitted and accepted that he was still a leader to these people.
Yes.
Right. Do you agree that in that time period where he was living,
Yes.
there were many dissatisfied black people that were dissatisfied with Christianity,
Yes.
that were dissatisfied with the Nation of Islam?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree upon his stance of converting to Sunniism that many people would have seen that as something legitimate to them
Yes.
and converted?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So therefore, he's the main leader because not only from his time, but going on generation after generation, this has had a knock-on effect for those people.
What Easa's doing, is a very clever debate tactic. It's a very clever debate tactic.
I'm just following logic.
Let me finish,
Basic
please. Let me
logic.
finish. It's a very clever debate tactic.
Very basic.
Yeah, and on a lesser mind it might work. Yeah,
Lesser
What's it
minds.
called? Yes, right. Heavy.
Come then.
What you're doing is you're following a train of logic that takes into consideration certain facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And negates
other facts.
Like?
and then draws a conclusion.
Let's see those
Right?
facts I've
So-
allegedly left
So,
out.
right. So because a man
Yes.
converts to Islam and Sunniism, as you put it, and others will be inspired, yes, to follow that
No,
example.
because he's already a leader.
And others-
Just follow. Just say what I'm saying.
Bro,
don't
He's
put
a
what he's
leader
mouth.
already.
Let me finish
No,
saying what I'm saying.
He's talking about
Let
me.
me finish saying no.
It's my
Let
argument.
me finish saying what I'm saying. Right? Because I am not denying that he is a leader.
All right.
Yeah? I am a follower of Malcolm X.
All right.
Man's a leader. to man.
He's Sunni Muslim as well.
No.
No.
That's
It's
funny.
nothing to do with
That's
it.
funny.
There you go.
Right? That's funny, right?
There you
That's
go.
very interesting, right?
There you go.
Right?
Being inspired by him, he might be a bit of a coon as well.
Yeah, he's
I said,
leader.
the next debate is Afro-Coon. The next debate is
He's not
Afro-Coon.
lying. That's what he put to be, right?
The next debate is that title.
We're gonna break that down.
Afro-Coon.
We're gonna break that
Pan
down.
Afro-Coon.
Yeah, and I'm saying
There you go.
categorically, it's a disrespect,
Pan-African.
and fundamentally
wanna see
flawed,
the Shia
to associate the name Omawale Malcolm X, Malik Shabazz with anything,
Yes.
pertaining to anything Coonism.
Really?
I firebrand that straight, I don't even have to
Truth.
hear the argument.
I know emotions are high.
Hold on.
We're doing facts.
Tender one.
Hold on.
Because he endorsed
But let
the
me-
religion
let me-
of the wild barbarians, according to him.
But let me.
He endorsed the religion that's an enemy of black people and their culture, according to him.
Hold on.
Malcolm
One
X
second, please, bro.
endorsed
One second.
the
I need
religion,
to finish, bro.
according to him,
I need to finish.
of
I
this
need to
enemy
finish.
of black people.
I need to finish.
Think about that.
I need to finish.
We have our own enemy.
I need to
now.
finish.
Bruv.
I need to finish.
We have to deal with
Please
the
go
enemy
ahead.
now first
Yeah,
before
go
we can deal with the enemy next to us. You know?
If black
man,
people,
that was my philosophy.
hold on, uncle,
Yeah,
hold
man,
on,
because
hold
I don't
on.
hear
If
from
black
man
people,
no more, I listen to heaven.
yeah,
We have to deal with
are
the enemy
being
now
inspired
first, then we can
to
deal with
turn-
other people.
Brother,
So-
hold on. Brother, this is a recorded
One
debate,
voice,
bro.
one voice,
It's
one voice.
recorded, brother. It's
Yeah, man,
recorded.
bless.
If
I like the
black
doctrine
people-
here still. We're learning.
Big up, not blessed. Be less is not good. Big up.
If black people are being inspired to turn to Sunni Islam via Malcolm X, the next question is what they're following what Malcolm X was dealing with? That is the next logical question. Yes?
That doesn't even make
Right?
sense.
That is the next logical
You know
question.
why, Carl?
Is what they're following what Malcolm X was dealing with? If yes, we can say, well, Malcolm X is the leader of this thing. If no, we can say, well, no, he can't be the leader of this because they're not following his example. They're not following his words. They're not being this. So, if people are using Omawale Malcolm X's words to inspire Sunni Kunism, we have to ask, who are the people that are inspiring this? Where them come from? What words are they using? And how are they using those words? That's the question that you have to ask. So my contention is, if black Muslims are following the example of Omawale Malcolm X, black Muslims would be Pan-Africanists. Black Muslims would be black nationalists. Black Muslims would be seeking to unify with black people where they are and connecting them to their homeland as an expression and an agenda for African liberation. You cannot prove to me.
We'll see about that.
Yeah? You cannot prove to me that Malcolm X promoted any form of Islam that diverted black people from a black agenda. That placed black people in an idea of contention and competition between their faith and their goal and their attainment towards black liberation. So we might learn, and I am one of those people. We might learn different things that inform our perspective today. But if I judge Omawale Malcolm X based upon the information that he had and what he believed himself, I could never justifiably associate him with Sunni Kunism. Sunni Kunism syndrome. Can't work.
Now that relates to now. Remember this, you know. Mine's coming from a perspective that Islam as a whole, as an ideology, is anti-black and African. It's an enemy. That's what he said.
It's not.
He said that. Don't lie. He said yes.
But the way you
did you say that or not?
The way you define it.
Did you
say what you are saying?
The man talking.
Say what you are saying.
Well,
he has no evidence for that anyway.
You say what you are saying. Say what you are saying.
It's Islam's interaction with the
I'm saying to you,
I've
already said
No,
that.
but he has to look at the teachings of Islam.
So what you're saying? What is Sunni to you?
Right, so he's admitted
I
it.
believe that the Abrahamic religions, Islam included, and how they've been institutionalized, the ideas that come from them have in their relationship to African people have had a degrading effect, upon the African sense of self and African culture.
Ideology.
Yes, and
It's an ideology.
Yes.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yes.
Right. So according to him now, and this is the thing why I kept asking you about whether his position with Islam is part of the agenda. Because according to you now, he's got on one side this religion that is an enemy to his opposite movement.
No, he never said that.
Watch this. Look at this, people. You've got a black nationalist movement, pro-black. But then he's holding on to an enemy ideology of his other movement. Do you see?
Eesa.
Now this is the point that you lot need to understand.
Are you pro-black,
and that
Eesa?
goes into
Black intellect.
that
And
goes,
your share
let me
Muslim.
finish. That goes into our next debate subject,
But Islam doesn't stop
which
you
is
from being proud
Pan-Afro-Coonism.
Eesa.
Pan-Afro-pseudoism. No, not now. I'm saying it's leading into it.
heritage.
It's a flip statement. So, and Pan-Afro-Coonism, Pan-Afro-pseudoism, and Pan-Afro-amateurism. These are the things that we're dealing with.
I'm ready for that debate. I'm ready for that debate. And I'm going to tell you this straight, You see that debate there? Hold on. I'm going to tell you this straight, You see that debate there? You see that debate there, I don't even know where it's going to go, right? So that's the point. So, hold on, right?
You just spoke for 5 minutes, and I'm trying to talk.
You raised something. I need 30 seconds. I need 30 seconds.
Why 30 seconds? I couldn't interrupt you. Let me finish now. So as I was saying, the mic, what?
Go on, talk.
Right. So as I'm saying, we have to be very attentive. No matter how much you want to sugarcoat this particular thing, when the people are looking at that time, 1960s, and they're already indoctrinated that they're inferior. Already anything to do with African spirituality is spookism.
Yeah, of course.
Islam or Sunniism is on the same lines of the Christian religion that they were on. So this is a safe bet.
Yes.
So it's easy to jump in.
Yes.
But the main thing is, if this man, as he said, is holding an agenda of this, but then standing in and confirming to the world that his name is El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, and he, Exactly.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Did he say the other name?
Is
Is
Eesa
he a
Arabic
king?
name?
It damn right is, but I don't view it like you do.
Is he a king?
He says Arabic name.
Of course it is.
Is he a
No,
king?
no, no,
Is he
no,
a
hold
king?
on.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
other name. His other name's what? His
It's
other
very
name's what?
simple.
His other
It's
name's
very
what?
simple.
His other name's
It's,
what?
it's very simple.
On a what?
Omawale.
Omawale.
Beautiful Yoruba name.
He did not
It
come
means
to
the
the
sun
world.
has come home.
He did not.
That's
That's what I'm
right,
saying.
that's
There you
right.
go. He did not come. He did not come. That's fine. He did not come before the world. He did not come before the world on the media. The amount of interviews that he had when
But
he
he
got
never
back.
came before the world to that either. If you want to
What,
name
Shabazz?
things, yeah.
Yes, he
If
did.
you- All right,
Are you mad?
let's deal with that.
He didn't
Let's
convert
deal with
to a
that.
Shia.
Let's deal with that.
Brother,
Let's
he
deal
was
with that.
asked.
Let's deal with that.
He was asked about his name,
Yes.
Malik El Shabazz.
Yes, people
and he
know
says
his name.
this was on his passport before.
Yes, it was, yes.
So I'm saying to
But he
you,
never put that before the world.
he said it in an interview.
Yes, he did.
Right, so I'm saying to you, and he volunteered the information that he was a Muslim. Right? So I'm saying from a pan-African point of view,
Yes,
Malcolm X,
yes,
this thing is an enemy to black people.
yes.
Eesa,
Right? The ideology. But he's also got a pro-black ideology. So you're holding on to this thing.
Two clashes.
Do you understand?
come
Right,
here?
so
So this is-
one sec. It's very
so
simple.
what
It's very
I'm
simple.
saying to you
It's
is,
very simple.
those
please,
people,
please.
those
So,
people,
Eesa, wait.
wait, no, I ain't finished yet.
I'm coming after
those
you, though.
people, those people,
I'm coming after you, Eesa.
that's fine. Those people,
He doesn't even know what's going on.
pardon me?
I'm telling you.
Go on,
No, I
finish.
didn't hear what he said.
Go on,
All
finish.
right. So those people who are only sort of around this religion thing, Malcolm X has legitimatized, sanctioned, and validated Sunniism to be the religion. And when they're saying about what type of Islam, they're pointing to Mecca and Cairo. But everyone knows about Mecca. Why? Because that's where we went to make it Hajj. So the main thing is that he's agreeing with me that Sunniism, because that's what he's talking about when he's talking about Islam, because you don't have no examples.
Talking about the whole of Islam
you-
by his own words.
Exactly.
By his own
I've said
words.
that
What,
already.
from Mecca?
I've said that already. No.
What, from Mecca?
No, not from Mecca. But
You-
when I
you go
say
to Hajj?
Islam, I'm not
You should do
necessarily
Hajj.
specifying.
Not you.
I'm saying he's a Shia, bro. You
Tell
go
me.
Hajj.
You do Hajj.
Yeah.
Which,
He's Shia,
which
bro. He
Shias
Yes.
have interacted with the people you're talking about?
Of the 1960s.
Only a smaller group.
Not many.
I'm talking about the history
Yeah, they do.
of the wild barbarians. Yes, against black people.
The
Where?
majority
Karbala,
of
they go
Muslims are
Karbala
Sunni.
later
No,
on.
no, no, exactly. So you can't talk on what you call Shia Islam then, of being an enemy to black people. Can you?
I'm saying
Yes, I can.
How?
Yes, I can.
Doesn't say, oh, we're enemies towards black
But
people.
that's not the subject right about now. I can do it. Sorry.
Right. Sunnis,
Sorry.
right.
You know,
let's-
like, there's
this
more
just my
sects,
thing, is
yeah,
it- is
but
it-
I'm saying,
Step back,
certain
step back,
Sunnis,
step back.
there's no Wahhabism like that. There's restricted around.
Bro, you're talking about something you need to
Right?
like, study.
In a big
Right,
thing.
Right,
Yeah, we need to study.
It's very
It's mad.
simple. It's very
We're
simple.
having a conversation.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's very simple.
Like what? One
Don't
second.
let my man decide the thing.
Because
He'll
we're
take
seeing
it
my
somewhere
bloody
else.
head.
He'll take it somewhere else.
No, but I'm just going to
Right,
deal with
what's
that
the
so that
book?
you understand.
Right, hold on.
We're just talking about Malcolm X, not Islam.
Yeah,
Right.
hold on,
That's what we're talking about.
Please, right? Now,
Yeah.
it's very simple, bro. When you are a black liberation freedom fighter,
Yes.
yeah, you have convictions, yeah, and you have ideology, you also have realities. You know what I'm saying? Right? And within the reality, there are nuances, yeah? So, one of the things, for example, that is also a fact, is that when Malcolm X traveled to West Africa, he buck up on many Africans, yeah, who are Muslim. And are Muslim from a long time ago.
Like Senegal and
Right?
stuff.
Right? When it comes to, I read to you the other day, right? I read to you the other day about Malcolm X's nephew and the movement at that time, learning about some of their ancestors who came over to America, yes, and were Muslims.
He was a Sunni, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, a
listen,
lot of them were
right?
Muslims,
And we're Muslims, yeah? So, so yes, in the speech he mentions Mecca and Cairo and them kind of places there as centers of Islam. It would be also true to say, however, that among African people at that time, the idea of Islam being an original religion was developing because of the understanding of history of Islam in West Africa. Yes? Not just Mecca and Cairo and these kinds of things. That's
Can
that's
you
what I
repeat
want.
that in another way? What you just
Please,
said?
no.
What did you just say?
Because whether the fact is not whether
No, the idea was developing. What was that? What was that? Explain
that Islam is our original religion.
Right.
Yeah, hold on a
There you
second.
go.
The problem is that the issue is not whether I agree with their assessment
No,
or
I
not.
agree.
Right? The issue is what was the basis for their argument? Where were they getting their information from and how did their ideas develop? We, 100 years later, might make a different assessment on the thing. But that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate where the brothers and sisters were coming from at that time. It doesn't mean, that with my perspective on Abrahamic religions, I can't understand a Bishop Henry McNeil Turner saying, dash away the white God, God is a Negro. Yeah? Now, I'm not a Christian. Yeah? But I said on Scattered Mind show yesterday that even me as an African spiritualist has to pay homage to the fact that a lot of people are African spiritualists today because there were brothers and sisters in Abrahamic religions who challenged the Eurocentric view or ideals within their religion, who challenged the white Jesus, for example. Yeah? Right? Concept. Even though they were Christian. I'm not a Christian, but I don't have to be a Christian to appreciate the impact of that fact on black people beyond just Christians. Yeah? Hold on. Right? So, the point is not whether Malcolm X had all the knowledge, because it's evident that he didn't. He went to Mecca in 1964. He didn't live a year. Yeah? People study Islam for decades.
That's right.
Right? And are still debating about the thing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we've already agreed there's nothing that he didn't know. So that, but the point is, what was he producing out of his faith? Yes. What was he doing with his faith? And what activities was he involved in with his wider community? So we can say that Malcolm X may have had some incorrect information or perspectives on Saudi Arabia, on Egypt, or even on Islam. We can justifiably say that. We cannot justifiably say that Malcolm X was leading black people towards Sunni Kun syndrome. That's the point. Him being incorrect, he's a human being. Yeah. And we are allowed, as the descendants of that legacy, to correct him. But we are not allowed to falsify, and to put things on Malcolm X that he does not deserve.
Did you agree, leader? Now, the definition, I gave a definition of two types of leader.
Good point.
You had two definitions. Which definition do you think I'm going to talk about?
Bro, the point is...
No, answer that question.
The point is...
Which one?
The point is, bro...
He was a leader to the people. So when he joined the enemy religion,
bro,
it's true,
bro,
it's done,
bro,
it's done.
Hear me, right?
They followed him.
It's very simple.
He legitimatized what you call the enemy to black people ideology.
It's very simple.
They then saw this thing,
it's very simple.
And then the word spread.
Bro, it's very simple.
Malcolm X
is
following the religion of Mecca.
It's very simple.
Simple as that.
It doesn't even make no sense.
Were
there not Orthodox Sunnis in America at that time?
Yes,
they were. That's
so this is what I said. Listen to the word.
And he's in the Nation of Islam, right?
Exactly.
Right, they're not the same thing, are they?
Exactly.
Right, so they're Orthodox Sunnis.
There.
There's
Ahmadi is there.
Right?
Malcolm X's big sister converted to
Sunnism
before him.
One second.
Yep.
They were on the worship of UFO, Mothership, Yaqub, blah, blah, blah. These are the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's correct.
Right? So it's not the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? You had Sunnis already.
We agree.
You had
What's your
Sunni
point?
Muslims there. But
What's your
you're
point?
trying to say that they were Arabized or what?
No, he's saying that
What's your point?
He's saying that by virtue. No, hold on. He's saying that by virtue of the fact that Sunnism is anti-black.
No.
If you become Sunni, then you're dealing with Queenism.
Right. And I'm saying, if you've already got...
That's what you said.
No.
Yes.
Correct me.
Malcolm is already a leader.
Listen.
Malcolm is already a leader.
We all understood that's what man
Was it Sunni
said.
first?
Exactly.
Already.
Obviously, there's a low IQ
Where are you
around
coming
here
on
that needs
to?
to be corrected.
Yeah, but you haven't
So,
elaborated.
he's already.
Yeah.
I'll say it
Still saying
again.
the prayer
He's
is still
already.
right.
Yeah.
But he
No,
still hasn't
because
explained
what
No,
you
he's
just said,
left
bro,
the
is not
Nation of
just that.
Islam.
Bro, if he's
Come on.
already a leader,
And he can
To the
join
people.
what?
yes. But
The
when he
Orthodox
says,
Sunnis that are already
if
there.
Malcolm X is already a leader,
And
he
Are you
says,
saying that
one sec. Why is it that when Malcolm X is already a leader, and he writes a letter from Mecca that has all the influence in the world,
I didn't say the Mecca. When he came back,
whatever.
And he was a Muslim.
But you're not.
And he set up the mosque.
But
He was a Muslim before he
In
went to
hell,
America.
bro.
He was a Muslim.
But what you're not appreciating,
When he went to
is
the
that if
media.
he's a leader, then there are many things. There's a lot of statements that he's making that influence the people. So why is it the statements that he makes about
I'll
Islam?
say it again.
Why is it that the
Oh,
statements
him
that he
being a
makes
Muslim.
about and being a Muslim?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is it that but he is also a black nationalist.
Right, so this
He's
is
also a
right.
Pan-Africanist. So why is it that him being a Muslim have more influence?
I didn't
than
say
all?
more. You're not listening. Right.
Okay, come in, Kevin.
Malcolm X is a leader
Yeah.
in Pan-Africanism.
Isa.
Hold on. We didn't want to talk.
Hold on.
It's our debate, blood.
I'm done, y'all.
So Malcolm X is a leader in Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, and Sunniism. But we're only talking about Sunniism. This guy can't debate, man. Anyway.
No, you cannot talk about the legacy of Malcolm X and just discuss Islam.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense. You can't do that. If you're going to say that he's the leader of this thing and then tell me that I can't discuss whatever else he was
So
dealing
why are you
with, that
not
don't make no
Muslim then?
sense.
So why are you only taking that side of him then?
Because
you're
said
doing
that
exactly
for
what they're doing.
No,
Watch
that's not
this.
the case.
Did man die for that?
Watch this now. Malcolm X, this is exactly the point. This is exactly, no, one sec. He's doing exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on. Exactly what I'm talking about. In the same way that to him, Malcolm X is his leader. He only follows Malcolm X.
One of that's not only.
He only
Malcolm
follows.
is my
Hold
prophet,
on.
fam.
He
Don't-
only
don't
follows.
deal with
Is
it.
Malcolm X your prophet?
I consider, yeah, but
Right.
second to Malcolm.
Marcus Scott, that's fine. So he only follows Malcolm X in regards to black nationalism and Pan-Africanism. Yes? Yes?
That's what he was, bro.
No, you only follow him in regards to that, yes? But you don't follow him in regard to Sunniism. Likewise, those people only follow him in regards to Sunniism and not black nationalism and Pan-Africanism.
Because they're
It's
not
simple.
following Malcolm X. That's
You-
my point.
he was a Muslim.
They're following.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
following. No, they're following.
See what I mean?
Hear what I'm
It's just
saying?
some joke thing,
Malcolm
bro.
has never been a leader in Sunnism.
It's some
himself.
joke thing.
He was a learner.
He was a
and
minister.
student.
point.
Yeah.
He was a
But by virtue
minister.
of that,
Good point.
He was not
He's a minister of the
leading
masjid.
anyone into Sunnism.
He's a
There were
minister of the
people
masjid.
already-
Talking
there were
rubbish.
people already
Talking
more
rubbish.
knowledgeable
No,
about
he's
Sunnism
not
than
wrong.
Malcolm.
No, he's not wrong. Hold on, he's not wrong. He's not
Brother.
wrong. No, hold on. No. He's not wrong in the sense of the fact that Malcolm gathered people that were more learned than himself.
with you.
Yeah, and you asked me about him.
How did they get there?
Right, hold on.
How did they get
You
there?
said, and you said
Through Malcolm.
Not all
So
of
you
them,
said
bro.
Malcolm gathered. Why? Because of Malcolm,
Bro.
not because of other people.
Bro.
You're proving my point, bro.
No, I'm not, bro.
You're proving the point.
No,
So
I'm not,
number
because
one,
you're assuming.
you said Malcolm gathered.
Bro.
It was Malcolm that attracted the people.
Yeah,
That's cool. Of course. Anyway, you not make up. This guy dumb as rocks. The example of Sonny Coon syndrome, right here. The best example you could ever see.
Elaborate Malcolmism. Elaborate.
Bro.
We're dealing with. Oh, you know what? Let him talk because you're interrupting. Go on. Go on.
When Eesa started talking
Go on.
sense,
Say your
you'll
thing.
say you're
Go on.
done now, anyway. I'm done, man.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to go and do
What
your
is it you're saying?
research.
On what?
I'm going to say something.
On
yeah?
what? Because you keep talking over
Block
us.
this out. Block this out. Yeah?
Block out what?
Don't video me.
Bro, you keep interrupting. Please
Yeah,
just
I'm
say
going
it.
to go in a minute.
All right, go on. Just
Hear
say
me
your
now.
piece.
We need to get back, hear me, to the order of Melchizedek. I'm gonna be simple.
Why do you need to
Secondly,
tell us this?
I'm gonna say something to you now.
But if we're debating
we
this,
talk
why
about
are
the
you talking about that?
blueprint, right? We talk about the blueprint. This is man-made, but nobody in history. Hear me? And I challenge the
Tell him
Vatican.
that. Tell him.
Nobody in
Tell him.
history have
tell
ever
him if I-
talked
tell him.
about the gold print. Ask them, where is the gold print that got the will for the earth? I'm
So
gone.
you got
Give thanks.
the blueprint and the gold print. Right.
Can I just say your last point, yeah? Can I just say your last
The
point?
minute that gold print comes
What
before,
in there?
no, I want you guys to ask for the gold
Brother,
print.
hold on,
The
hold on.
whole world will be
We'll
in
ask
peace,
it.
Okay.
and Messiah
Give
will
us the
come.
gold. Give us
And
the gold print.
144
Give
Messiah
us the
will
gold
come.
print.
Set the earth.
Give us the
set
gold
the
print.
earth right.
Tell the camera.
Because guess what?
Tell the camera.
We all have been around somewhere or another. I'm going around in circle and being deceived.
All right.
Right? Even Muhammad was deceived, yeah?
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Whole world being deceived.
Was Malcolm X
Ask for the
deceived?
gold print.
Was
Yes,
Marcus Garvey
The
deceived?
gold print we need. It is the will of the earth for humanity.
Have you got it? Have you got it?
Can I just
Have you got it? You got it in your bag? Have you got it in your bag?
It must be given to a black king.
Bro, but you letting him come in, bro. You're
It
right
must be
next to him.
given to a
Tell the
black
man
king
to
who
talk.
have the seed.
He come. Who? I didn't ask him nothing, bro. Don't talk, bro.
The gold print.
Can you come back?
Let's not.
Exactly.
No, you know what we'll do? That will
He's right
blind
next to
every
you.
angel, that will blind every fallen
Come to the
angel
camera then.
and every religion of
Give
the
thanks.
cast
You're
on
right
them
next
of
to
the
him,
belief.
brother. Just ask him to talk over there.
Yeah, man, it's a real thing, man. And all kings
Give
and
thanks.
queens have to
Give
bow
thanks.
down.
Give thanks.
That's what I'm saying. You're right next to the man. Just
Right.
take
I
it
want
away.
to address your last point. I want to address your last point
The gold print.
about
Big up.
man following
Parts.
Yeah, parts. Yeah. Okay. Hear me. All right. One of the things, yeah, because Malcolm X was a part of the Black nationalist movement at that time.
Right.
So if we're dealing with the movement in its entirety, we have to mention, because he was also learning and studying with people like with people like Carlos Cooks, with people like Mama Mariam Samad, with people like Dr. John Henry Clark, and others, who were pushing a certain agenda. They were learning, and if you read the program of the OAAU about African culture, and there's a fundamental thing in the program of the OAAU about Africans reclaiming our original culture. Yes, and spirituality is central to the original culture of the African. So I may not be following Malcolm X in terms of Islam, but definitely when it comes to spiritually, yes, man's walking that path, because Malcolm X was. There were people from the continent that were traveling to America throughout the 1960s, and they were meeting with brothers and sisters from the Black nationalist movement. So, for example, the term dashiki that people make mockery of today, right? Yeah, right. People developed that terminology because African people were coming to America and teaching people names for clothes, and styles of clothes. And those people got to start making their own clothes, and the term dashiki develops, the drumming and chanting and the knowledge of African original so-called religions was developing at that time also. It's lesser known, partly because Islam, Christianity and Judaism are major world religions. They operate on the world stage. Especially at that time, African spiritual traditions did not. So there's less recorded evidence of that, you know what I'm saying? But it's not off the path of what the movement was dealing with at the time. That's what I'm saying. But again, even if that's the case, I am entitled to correct the mistakes of my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? I'm entitled to do that. No, I'm saying even if Malcolm X used to ban African spirituality, man's entitled to correct that. Right, and still address the positive and the virtues of what he was also doing.
So if he was bunning it,
sold us into slavery.
Say again?
So if he was bunning,
that's a
let's say he was bunning it,
Correct that one, no.
Are you telling me now that if people started bunning it because of him, he wouldn't be the leader in that manner? You see what I'm saying?
No, he wouldn't be the leader, because that would be a situation that preceded him.
He would facilitate. Is that what you're trying to say?
He would just
okay, fine.
I don't know. Is it me?
Would you agree that Orthodox Islam,
Sold you out.
most black Americans thought Islam was Nation of Islam? Would you agree?
Yes, definitely.
Right. So therefore, when he come back with this Mecca thing, he's a major person to introduce this different Islam. Agreed?
No.
To the majority. He just agreed. Most black Americans agreed.
No.
Islam was Nation of Islam. So you contradicting him now?
No. Hold on.
You said no,
just agreed.
No, but he said most. He said
and if
most.
you knew about Noah Drali, you
just
know about
agreed.
Cycle 7 Quran
they're correct.
that's been around since the 1800s.
Hold on. Clarify. He said most. I'm saying.
The majority of black people in America,
at that
when
time,
they heard the word Islam, they
most,
thought of Nation of Islam.
I'd say that's the case.
So when Malcolm X came back with this other Islam from Mecca,
Oh my
he
God.
spread that to the nation that there's another type of Islam. There would have been pockets here, Noble Drali, pockets here, the Ahmadis.
Having said that, listen.
So he introduced this other thing to black Americans. Yes?
1800s.
What I'm going to say is, he would have heightened the profile of it. Listen, because the profile, you have to understand what I'm saying. The profile of Islam among black people, among Americans in general, to be honest with you, was growing anyway. Because of America's relationship with Saudi Arabia. Yeah, and so part of the propaganda that the American press was already putting out prior to Malcolm X going to Mecca. I'm just saying. What do you mean?
I'm saying other than Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam, like what is the Saudi propaganda?
There's a number of things at play here. I read to you something already whereby Saudi was in cahoots with America in terms of institutionalizing Salafism in America and institutionalizing educational institutes to do it. Yeah, so one second. Also, the propaganda against the Nation of Islam oftentimes carried the idea that the people in the East who practice Islam reject the Nation of Islam. Yeah, this was in newspapers. Yeah,
but Malcolm X is central to that.
No, prior to Malcolm X going to Mecca.
Right, so you're saying prior
when Malcolm X was in the nation... Listen, when Malcolm X was in the Nation of Islam, that was already a dynamic.
Have you got any examples of that?
Yes, there's a speech, whereby Malcolm X is addressing the term black Muslim and saying that this is a term
the Saudis are
used by the press to separate the black people
You get what I'm saying?
in America from the Muslims in the rest of the
The
world.
Saudis ain't got the oil yet until the 70s. You're talking about the 60s.
Where was the Ramco then?
Oh, man, come on, man.
Anyway, yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So-
So my point is that
Yeah.
I'd
To be
agree
setting up
that
schools,
But I'm
to
saying
a
that
large
to
extent.
doing
no
all of this,
major
bruh.
influence.
But no,
Would you agree?
you can't say that. What I'm
Lying,
saying.
man.
How are you telling me there's an influence? No, listen what I'm saying.
There's an influence, bro.
Even if they hear about it,
You're
it's not
trying
really
to
something
put
they pay
it.
attention to.
Hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
We have to put things in their context. I'm saying
course.
I'd agree that for a lot of black people at that time, 9 times out that
90%.
Yeah, their predominant idea of Islam
would be
have been Nation of Islam.
And Malcolm
Not
X would have been
denying
the head of that.
I'm not denying. He
Yes?
would have been he's the most prominent figure.
Most people wouldn't even.
He's the most
they don't know
prominent
what
figure.
Elijah Muhammad looked like. They
Listen,
know about
please.
Malcolm X, correct?
He's the most prominent figure. But
Right.
I'm saying,
There you go.
so I'm not denying that.
So when he
I'm
come back
not-
and convert,
So what I said, listen now, what I said was,
How important
I
is the reason when
agree
he came back?
that he would have raised the profile, but I'm saying that
The whole of the nation of
it was
Islam
already,
become
it was the fact of Sunni Islam
Yeah.
raising its head in America was already a fact of life before Malcolm X went to Mecca.
That's facts.
we've already
Yeah.
stated this, Ahmadis and all of these. What I'm saying.
No, but
if
we're
I
talking
said
about the
main
raising
leader-
of the profile. I'm
Brother,
saying
brother.
that
I've already said mainly.
Orthodox
Yes?
Islam was
of all.
already receiving national press in America. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not denying the impact of Malcolm X coming back and saying so on and so forth. I'm just putting it in a context that says he contributed to a dynamic that was already taking place. And among black people, yes, it would have been significant. That's what it is. Right. I'm saying.
So there you have it. There you have it.
Collapse.
Even if they said that, it wouldn't mean nothing to black people
Where's the
until
Sunni-
Malcolm
Sunni
X
Coonism?
sanctioned this.
That's not the
Where's the
case.
Sunni-
So
That's
tell
not the
me-
case.
How
tell
can
me
he
the other
sanction
people-
anything?
How much anything was there already?
Wallace D. Muhammad.
It's beyond you.
Wallace D.
No, I'm
Muhammad.
saying, I'm saying national.
National. He's talking. He
National.
made a claim. If it worked for
When
When did Wallace D.
Imam
Muhammad
Malcolm,
get
yeah?
interviewed
What's going on?
on this thing?
Huh?
On a
Imam
major
Imam
scale?
Malcolm,
No, before
yeah?
Malcolm.
Is
The
that-
fact
is that what
of
we're doing
Wallace
here?
D.
Malcolm.
The fact of yes, but Wallace D. Muhammad was
Sam?
in and
What?
out of the Nation of
Interview,
Islam.
interview.
Yes, bro. I'm saying I don't have the interview in front of me.
No, no, is there anything
yes,
there at
bro.
all?
What I'm trying
Go
to
on.
say to you is,
give him.
Wallace D. Muhammad's
Let's go, Sam.
fallout with his father
Yeah.
it was well known. Just what I'm saying.
I'm talking about media, right?
Yeah, bro.
Media.
But I'm saying
Like
it's
Malcolm
well
went to
known.
the media and told them about his journey to Mecca.
Bro, nobody
Did Wallace
was
Muhammad
yes,
get on the
nobody
media?
was more high profile than Malcolm X.
Right, so did Wallace Muhammad get on the media and say this? Did he?
Can I
Yes.
ask a question, please? Why are you talking about Islam?
Exactly.
Why are we talking about Islam? Because that was the subject.
When did you get here, bro?
Islam is a slave religion.
Indeed.
Why are you talking about it?
It doesn't say religion.
Watch the video and then you get the context of the conversation. Yeah? Yeah, so Malcolm X
I
himself,
think you've already said.
Malcolm X himself was influenced by other people that were around him. Wallace D. Muhammad was already teaching among members of the Nation of Islam that we need to
His sister's
be moving
husband,
towards this thing.
didn't they help fund him to go Mecca?
All that kind of stuff,
Yes,
right?
we don't know
Right.
this
What's the
all,
course? So there's no denying that Malcolm X's profile contributed to the thing.
You keep
But
saying
I'm saying-
contributed, but I'm saying if 90% of people, black people, know Malcolm X to be the Muslim, the man who teaches Islam, then he
No.
comes back and changes.
We don't know that.
Right? Well, he's agreed. So regardless of what you lot
Yeah,
say.
but that doesn't
right?
make sense, though.
But it does to him. So because I'm debating him,
Yeah.
let's roll with that. So as we have it now, 90% of black people
I don't think he said
believe
that.
this is Islam. He already agreed.
I never
So
heard
as
that
we-
come out of his
Wait,
mouth.
Did you say that?
Did I say what?
Let me just continue. So we've got this
right,
90% of black people that when they hear the word Islam, they think of Malcolm X and what he has to say,
Really?
whether it be UFOs and so on. This
In
is the
America?
general in America.
Okay.
Right. So now when he goes to Mecca, come back and says, I'm an Orthodox Muslim, as is taught in Mecca and Cairo, they now are thinking, well, this Islam thing
That would be true.
Did they become-
now-
did- did-
is
did
now
you all become
the
Sunnis,
thing
though?
No. But
No,
that's-
so then your argument is done, bro.
this
Yeah,
guy is
exactly.
it's like that. If
I'ma
you're a
say
leader,
this. I'ma
I
say
swear
this.
these people. So he has to lead all of them.
More black
My
people.
gosh.
Makes no sense.
More black people
Bro, you have to get
followed
some IQ
Malcolm X
Yeah.
into the Organization of Afro-American Unity
they did
than
in Sunni.
into the Muslim Mosque
No,
Incorporated.
no, no. You're talking about literally into it. Yes.
There you go. That's your
You
question.
listen to what you're saying. You're saying literally
On
into
your
it.
argument,
Number
yeah, man.
one,
It's not even a good argument.
that thing was disbanded.
Yeah,
The
eventually.
Muslim no.
No,
that
but we're
was quick,
talking
right
about. Hold on
after.
one second. One second.
His mosque was
Are we
disbanded
not?
straight
Are we
away.
not?
Apparently-
Oh, one second. One
No,
second.
that was
Are we not
gone straight
arguing?
away.
Are you not
So the
arguing
Pan-African
over
thing you're talking
ideology
about-
that he made up?
Oh my God. I made up. How did I make it up?
He made it up.
What
Yeah,
did I
it's
make up?
ideology.
Coonism.
Coonism.
Yeah.
Syndrome.
There's a big argument, you know, over something he made up.
I made
I'm
up.
done. Collapse.
Okay, you lot are done. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm kind of down myself, bro. I don't. Ain't
But
nothing new I'm
no,
gonna
no.
say.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think that's-
It's just what I'm saying.
I think your last bit there, has really contributed to my point. So just to sum up, as the brother agreed, the majority of black Americans, when they heard the word Islam, would have thought of Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam. So therefore, when he comes back, and he now is representing and joining himself and becoming the minister of this Muslim mosque, obviously those who were following before and may not have liked the concept of what Elijah Muhammad said, the white man's the devil, they're more in line with this more milder thing. Do you get me? So with this, that had ripple effects. Those people converted. Their children were raised Sunnis. Then their children were raised Sunnis and so on, and it spread through the community. If you go to New York, there's a lot of people, especially Harlem, that can tell you how their grandfather knew Malcolm or they converted in the time of Malcolm, like when I went to New York. So it's a basic thing, my brother, but thank you very much. I appreciate all the evidence you provided on this time, which has completely solidified the whole argument that Malcolm X is the main leader of modern day Sunni Coon syndrome. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, we're denying that, innit? We're refuting that totally and completely. Yeah, to be a leader of Sunni Coonism or Sunni Coon syndrome.
Once he agreed with the two definitions of leader, that's it.
That's
because the people following him,
Easa's argument only makes sense if you don't take into consideration, the comprehensive nature of Malcolm X's ideas, the comprehensive nature of Malcolm X's ideology, the comprehensive nature.
He could have been part of 15 groups. As long as he's part of one group and people follow, he advocates one group.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the leader of one group.
I'm done talking it, cause I don't know. I know what more to say.
Yes.
If I hope that anybody, right. Let's say my son in it. Right. What's it called? I hope, right, that if I have children and I'm not here to take care of them, that nobody is able to take a snippet out of what I said and tell them about me and lead them down the wrong path. They won't be following me. They'll be following the people that told them about me. That's what I'm saying.
That's totally dishonest. Malcolm X said to the media and stood on his firm ground as a Muslim. That's not a snippet. Don't take that foolishness.
He also stood as a black nationalist.
Yes, he did.
A Pan-Africanist, a liberation freedom fighter. He also stood and said, leave your religion in the closet. He also stood and said, Islam may solve the problem for me personally, but I believe my personal problem is never solved until the problem of the black masses is solved.
Is it snippet?
When they asked him, will you be known as Malik Shabazz from here on out? He said, I'm probably going to continue to use the X for as long as the condition that created it continues to perpetuate itself. He said all of these things, kings and queens. So don't take 1-2 statements of Malcolm X and be like, you know about Malcolm X. That's what the Sunnis do that are trying to distort his legacy. They take a few things, deny everything else, and tell you this is what Malcolm X represented. Ban that. Yeah, we're not going to do that. And we should never do him the disservice, of falling prey to that agenda. We can never, ever,
Have they fallen prey to it?
Who?
The Sunnis, a lot of the black Sunnis.
Yes, a lot have, yes.
Would you say the majority of black converts have fallen prey to this image propagated that Malcolm X left the kind of wicked Nation of Islam and come to the right path? Would you agree?
I would say that the propaganda has pervaded more than Malcolm X, the black nationalist Pan-Africanist. Certainly. Yeah.
And you're saying that's due to them putting the fuel in this thing?
Of course.
So in other words,
it's not to do with Malcolm X. Of course, it's not to do with Malcolm X. Yeah,
I don't disagree with that, but I still think he's a leader.
Right. So then, from you don't disagree with it, then
he's still the leader. It's like you can get a leader of a small movement, but if somebody give you money and they give you space and they give you channels to put your thing on, you become.
I'm one of Malcolm X in the world.
Yes,
that's how we got to say.
You understand? And this is why I always refuse.
All right, go on. But change the subject.
Why is Islam a slave religion to you?
Come take over everything from your Medellin. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen.
He said he didn't really have a question.
Man, don't listen to BBC.
What are you saying? We're finished.
Why is it COE? Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. I don't even listen to Sky, man.
What was he going to say over there, bro?
Man, just listen to COE.
Go on.
COE. So you see me in COE. Because we're over everything. COE. Man, not in the no BBC. Man, not in the no ITV.
not even listen to the MUM.
Yes.
They don't listen to COE. Sorry, mommy, I'm lying. I'm
Yes.
lying. But listen to your mum. Listen to your mum.